Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broken Berean. And we've got exclusive news that it is highly rumored and highly suspected that the Russo brothers are back in talks to direct the next two Avenger movies. Now, this is a good thing and a bad thing, and it's a mixed bag, so to speak. The Russo brothers did a great job. I'm not faulting for anything they've done, but it's kind of like they're calling in the previous coach to a sports team to fix the problem when all their star players are gone, and now they're trying to build this team. I don't think this is a terrible move, but I don't think it's a good move either. I do think this is kind of a too little too late. I do think that if anyone could bring people back into the MCU, it would be the Russo brothers. But there's signs that they won't live up to the hype that they had. And I won't get into those, but you could see signs of it in Endgame and things like that, that there may be messaging. They may be putting messaging into it, but I'm hoping that's not true. I do love Marvel. I love it Marvel pre-Disney. Some of the best stuff we got from Marvel outside the MCU directly was the Netflix series, which were fantastic. Yes, I liked Iron Fist, despite what most people say. I enjoyed it. I found it intriguing. I found it engaging. I also loved uh, Luke Cage was fantastic. And seriously, if you go back, Luke Cage probably has the best soundtrack ever. Ever for any Marvel property. I absolutely loved Luke Cage's soundtrack. All the jazz and blues and everything. It was just phenomenal. I mean, I found artists that I'd never heard of before through that show, and it was just great. But I digress. The Russo brothers, I do think, try to clean things up, but they are cleaning up a mess that's been made, and they're going to have to spend a lot of time trimming the fat, really, and trying to get back to a singular focus on where the story's going, and kind of cut some of these sideshows out and just leave them by the wayside so they can get to a cohesive story again, because now it's branched off so much. And I always fear that when you get into alternate realities and multi dimensions, things like that in sci-fi, when you get too into it and rely too heavily on it, things get really messy really fast, and a lot of people drop out because it becomes too confusing. And that's why you only see it like sparsely, even like in Star Trek when they go to the Terran world, and I forget what it's called now. I mean, they did it in the original series. They did it multiple times in DS9, and then in Discovery. So, I mean, you've got them, but if you use it too much, like Marvel has, it's just going to get really muddy. But we don't know what Deadpool Wolverine's going to do, and it may be a cleanup. It may not. There's so many questions, but I do think the Russo brothers have a good chance of trying to get things cleaned up. But I just don't think they're going to bring back the huge fan base that has been lost since the Russo brothers left and since Disney took full control over the MCU. I just don't think it's there. That's my opinion. Could I be wrong? Yes, absolutely. Do I hope I'm wrong? Yes, I do. I hope I'm wrong. But I just don't see it with what's been presented. That looking down the path that they're going to have to trailblaze ahead, and all the work that's going to have to be done to make what was supposed to be the Kang Dynasty. I mean, that was supposed to be the next Avengers movie, and there's a lot of cleanup there. I mean, not just story wise, but you got actors and stuff that have really done some not good things, and that takes a lot to clean up. And personally, it may be too much. It really seems like this is too much of an obstacle. Does this mean the MCU will cease to exist? Of course not. But does it mean that if they took like a 5 year hiatus of just no Marvel and started fresh again with the Russo brothers, it could take off again? That's possible. I do think that's an option. But in the state of the MCU now, I mean, I you got the Agatha all along. I've got people that were super excited for that show. They wanted it so bad, but once the trailer dropped, they're like, I'm out. They're just like, nope, I'm out. It's just, no. I mean, these were dedicated people that still consumed all of Disney Marvel. And they're just like, yeah, that's too much for me. I'm out. And I get it. I mean, I was out a while back, but now it's just a situation where you've got to go, is this a Hail Mary pass trying to save Marvel? Is Kevin Feige just doing everything he can to save Marvel? And will it work? I don't know. I really don't. But I just don't see I don't see the path to make this great again. I don't. But I could be wrong. They may have a plan. They may have, that may be why they're coming back, is because they've presented it to Feige and said, "Hey, here's how we think we can fix everything." And maybe they're right, and I don't know. But we're just going to have to see what happens when we start to see more development of Avengers 5 and Avengers 6. And honestly, I don't know when we would see those. We're probably at least at the very minimum 3 years away from seeing Avengers 5 at this point. I was going to say 2, but I do think if they're coming in on this, it's going to take a full another year of just writing and development just to get things squared away. And then 2 years of filming, probably. They need to take at least a year and a half of filming to get things right and get it done well and get away from green screen. Gosh, they've got to get away from green screen. I mean, I didn't hate Quantum Mania. I finally saw it and it was okay, but it was so much on green screen and actors. I feel, I could be wrong. We've seen it through time and time again, even in like Lord of the Rings. You know, they hated working on the green screen. They want to be in front of the people. They want to interact with the sets and everything like that. So if they go back to practical effects, we may have a huge bump in people coming back to Marvel into the theaters. But at this time, there's nothing that's bringing me back to Disney Plus. There's nothing that's bringing me back to Marvel in the theaters. Even with the new, was it the Hulk? Oh, the new Captain America. I was thinking Red Hulk. I just was focused on that. The new Captain America. I mean, it looks like it could be good, but it's just like, eh. I'll wait till it hits like Netflix or Hulu or something, and then I'll watch it. But that's just me. I'm so checked out from just bad writing, bad storytelling, and focusing more on messaging and pushing ideology versus over the characters and the stories. Get back to that, and Marvel could be saved. But that's just my opinion. So until next time, my friends, as always, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.